Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Masks Monday. This is session 23 of Masks of Nyarlathotep on the winter solstice during the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. So I'm sure nothing sort of wayward is going to happen at all during this session. Nothing untoward. So, shall we go round the group, as it's been 2 whole weeks? It's been so long. So you probably have no idea who any of these people are. So let's start off with Winston.
Hi, yes, I'm Winston Green. I'm one of the hardy perennials. Whatever happens, I just can't seem to die. I'm almost totally invulnerable, and I'm talking complete crap. I've managed to survive by being an utter coward. But so far, so good.
Hopefully you'll do yourself back out that hole. Shall we go with Pranit?
Yes, my name is Pranit Singh Dhillon. I am an ex-soldier and I'm all about killing people and getting insulted by Françoise. And hopefully Françoise is not in the mood tonight. Because we need to kick some serious ass tonight. So I need her to not insult me, please. And thank you.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Speaking of which.
Well, you see, I have also not died, but I have not done it by being a coward. I've done it through competency, which is more than can be said for the rest of the team. Two of which have died.
And here we go. All right, guys, I'm sorry.
So, we have some temporary replacements. I will see how they do, or if they are also as incompetent as the people who died already. Meanwhile, one can only hope that Winston develops a backbone.
And finally,
I was about to write in the chat there. I'm now taking bets on how many seconds it takes before Francois insults, and I never even got to finish the sentence. I just stopped typing after about 2 seconds.
Okay, Perry.
Okay, Perry Astor, a Canadian explorer, and competence to be decided, obviously. Yes, he's here to keep the guys out of trouble and blow things up at the moment, I think.
Yes. We shall see about that. Do you want to give us a summary?
A summary, yes, I will.
What happened
Previous one, it was quite a big episode, but we didn't actually do a lot. It was a planning episode, really, because we've planned this raid on Al-Shakti's place, and we started off by deciding what we wanted to get out of the raid. So we wanted to destroy this mummy that we believe is there. We wanted to also destroy the sarcophagus that we think is that's gone missing from the pyramid, because it could play a part in a ritual. So after the plan was to divide up and to go and get various items we needed for the raid. So Winston went to get house plans. Francois went to get a disguise for us all. Pranit went to get a car, and Perry went to get some TNT. We were all successful, although it did look like Winston had gone past buying at some sort of stage, but he did actually get some plans with him. We met back at the hotel afterwards. We then went through the plans for the house plans, looked at key points we wanted to get to. So we decided we were going to go in, I think, via the workshop and then maybe to the art gallery. I think it was the main two we wanted to go to. We decided we might want the safe was in the study, but that could be hard to get at. Plus, we couldn't open it unless we dynamited it. So I think the plan was in the end to dynamite the sarcophagus with the mummy in it on the way out. Then after our planning, Francoise went to the hospital, and then she went to the French consulate, and she had to get some more. She wanted some more information on Al-Shakti. This is where actually Francois came up with a backup plan in case we failed, which was to hold Shakti's cat hostage to get us out. After that, while that was going on, Winston went to the museum, which I went as well. We met a Dr. Ali Kafur. who actually ended up knowing Jackson Elias. So we talked to him for a while. And he said Jackson Elias was investigating the Carlisle expedition. While this was going on, he went to find some books for us. We started to talk to a guy that was in the library called Gardner. He's part of the expedition that's currently on site. And he was researching a particular theory that he has personally, that there is something hidden underneath the pyramids, possibly even a whole city, he said. When that conversation ended, Kofor came back. He had some books that Lars Jackson has been looking at. And he believed that the Carlisle expedition had found something that linked to Kenya, which is, and they didn't go off on this supposed break. They actually went looking for continuing their expedition. But also he looked younger when he left than when he had arrived somehow. And we also found out at the same time that the Black Pharaoh was also known as Nyarlathotep. Yes, Francois and Pranet was going off to see Nigel, the news guy, and actually got a picture of Al-Shakti, so we knew what he looked like, and found out some of these movements, so we could time our raid a little bit better. And I think that's basically where we left it.
Yeah, that's basically it. Not give me. Roll a d8 for luck.
D8. 4.
Ooh. So that puts you on. I don't know why I have 341 written down. I'm assuming.
That'll do me.
Are you on 35? Okay, so okay. 35 and 76 sanity.
Yeah.
For you. Francois, you're on 93 sanity and 7 luck.
Oui.
Oui. Pranet, you are on 64 sanity and 17 luck. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And Winston, you're on 83 sanity and 16 luck.
Yep, bang on.
And Pranet still has the bonus die. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Apparently,
don't
nobody
need it.
needs their bonus dies until they haven't got one.
Until they do.
Whatever.
See, I held on to my bonus die for week upon weeks upon weeks, and every time I've actually used it, it has backfired on me spectacularly.
Just like you say, you don't miss it till it's gone.
Mm.
I
Indeed.
didn't need it until I used it, and then I didn't need it then.
Also, hello for Duke. You are right. We didn't play in the end because UK lockdowns were kind of up in the air, and we weren't quite in the mood for playing. But we are back now for Masked. So I guess after you've sort of had your chat with Nigel Wasif, I guess by that point you meet back up again in the hotel, do you?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So as we sort of discussed briefly before going live, it's sort of late afternoon now. It's not dark yet, but you think it will be in the next possibly couple of hours or so. Obviously starting to cool down now as well.
Isn't it Friday that we want to go in during the press?
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to double check that because that's when there's like super long prayers potentially, or they're at like a big mosque and stuff like that.
Absolutely. It
I mean,
will be the time where the place is almost empty.
Yeah,
It's also the time where it is the safest.
if we're doing it, we really have to do it then, because we're
as I said, the last couple of sessions, if you are really going to go down this road, I mean, we need to do it when possibly everyone is attending this mass at the mosque. I don't know the correct terminology for that. Also, we need to be. I'm sorry.
Khutbah, apparently.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but we also need to be super fast about this. I mean, we go there by car, which we have. We go there armed. I mean, of course,
We don't go
and
there in
then try to
disguises.
be
Though.
as fast as possible, and then get the hell out of there.
Yeah, so I think, to be honest, the question is we can either be stealthy or we can be quick. I don't think we can be both. I think if we try and be stealthy through that house, we take up time we may not have. Whereas I think we should just...
I guess we should see what we end up against. I mean, if we got guards, of course, the stealthy approach would be the only way, unless we want to go in gun blazing.
I mean, most of the staff will be at prayer as well, I'd assume.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah,
Yes,
as far
but
as
there
they're
will be
concerned.
There's likely to be a few around still.
Yeah.
Some will do their prayers where they are. Some might even not be religious.
What sort of time are these prayers? Is it dark when it happens?
No, we go in midday.
No,
Only day.
the large prayers, they start at midday and they go on till evening-ish.
We're going to go in the cover of daylight. Nobody will be expecting it. A frontal assault.
All right.
Under the cover of the sun.
We will lull our enemies into a true sense of security.
Yes.
I'm still not sure about this, but
Well, look,
what could go wrong?
here's the situation. Here's the situation. We only have two options. We hit it early before these guys figure out we're here, or we take the time to do proper recon, work everything out, and plan it to the nth degree. The only problem with that is,
I mean,
if the cultists find out we are here, we are screwed. We're going to be playing catch up from then on in.
So we absolutely, I know you want to go to the museum, but we absolutely cannot go there yet and then interact with people who are likely cult members. Do not do that yet. We will do it after this raid.
I mean, being this the late afternoon, early evening, if someone wants to go back to the museum, they can, while the other of us may do a little bit of stakeout of Al-Shakti mansion.
Well, it's what, 9 or 10.
It's like from the outside.
It's what, 9-10 miles out of
Yeah, about 9 miles.
town. Yeah,
There you go.
because the other problem is we're in the middle of the desert and it's 9 miles out of there. I don't know if we're going to be able to, if we're actually going to be able to approach near enough to do any sort of recon without being spotted.
Yeah, 9 miles by foot in the middle of the desert, it's out of the question.
Yeah, which means we've got to take transport. Even,
Or
whether it's a car or whether it's horses or whatever. The thing is, they're visible. Horses ain't small.
what
Well, you
if
can get small horses, but you don't want to ride them.
what if some of us, I volunteer to go there tonight by car to do a little bit of recon, stack out, call it whatever you like, and come back by foot.
I would suggest
Then
not going by
tomorrow-
car.
Yeah, we are going by
Because-
car, but come back to the hotel by foot.
We
Tomorrow
do
we
not-
go there by foot and get out running away by car.
If
So-
we go there by car beforehand, then the car becomes a non-vehicle. So if it is spotted, on its second appearance, it will be more questions raised. And if we have to use excuses like, sorry, we came down the wrong road, you can't do that twice on the same road. So we cannot take the car that we have rented. We would have to take a different car.
I don't know about walking there at midday either.
Yeah, we're
No,
trying to,
for the raid, we take the car. For the recon, we should not have the cars that we have hired be exposed. It would have to be a different car.
Or we go by foot.
9 miles on
foot.
9 miles on foot in the desert.
In the evening, though. It gets scary cold in the night.
Yeah.
Still, if we don't want to get spotted, I don't see other way. I mean, if you want to pay for another car or volunteer to steal one, please be my guest. But if we don't want them to, if we don't want them to notice our car beforehand, which is tonight.
I was waving to the audience. I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, hello, audience. Yes.
Goodbye, audience.
Don't feel any extra pressure here, Georgia. But you know, you're being watched by loads of people.
Loads. That makes me so much more comfortable with my English skills. Still, I mean,
That's the
or we
least.
go by foot or we steal another car. I'm not too keen on stealing or buying another car.
But it makes no sense to buy to steal a car when we can just hire one. It is no problem. We are well funded, and why take the risk?
To be honest, I would say if you're going to do the thing about going up and having a wee sneaky,
Oh, fuck.
I would almost be suggesting take some horses. Have a nice wee gallop up there, have a wee roam about on horses and come back with the horses.
Right up Perry Street, that.
We
Yeah.
couldn't
Hopefully
find
you
someone
grew up richer than I did. I
Actually
don't know if
use
I
your
can
ride
ride
skill.
actually use right, yeah.
You
I
could
do
use your
that.
ride skill.
I'm wondering, could we find someone with a plane?
So you want to see the tiny boxes from afar? You will learn lots.
Well, they tend to have variable height, so we can go lower.
I just want to take a moment to applaud that wonderful bit of sass.
I'll pay.
Yeah, you do come in very
I'll pay later.
variable heights. They can go up and down.
Well, I mean, if someone had it, if we could get someone with a biplane or something close by, we could just fly over once, and someone could do a quick sketch or take a photo.
We already have blueprints. We know what it looks like from above. That is what blueprints are. Only you could see inside the ceiling roof.
The one advantage of getting recon isn't a look at the house, isn't a look at the house so much, because we've got the blueprints, and
It's the 10-foot wall wearing it with barbed wire on top.
well, it's more a case of looking at the approach. See if we can find a blind spot that would be best to approach.
Very well, then let us go for a flight.
We could do horses.
Horses.
You can horses, I can't.
Just find.
Because there are so many aeroplanes in Egypt just lying around to be chartered.
You never know. Actually, it's not such a silly notion, given the amount of survey work that would have been done around the deserts with regards to the pyramids and sites and burial sites and so on. There might be a charter service. It's not beyond the realms.
You can give me a luck roll.
Certainly. Obviously, you would hire that from the nearest airport, which, as I understand it, is Italy.
A group luck roll.
That's the lowest then, isn't it?
Francoise, that's on you.
Francoise.
Like I said, the nearest airport is in Italy. I gather they have a plane there.
There'll be plenty of planes in Egypt. The just problem is there'll be RAF.
Not in 1920s.
Well, there'll be Royal Air Corps.
There wouldn't even be Royal Air Corps out here.
No, there wouldn't be.
What are they going to defend against? They haven't got the range.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they bombed Baghdad in 1921.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, also Morbius, I suggested already to, I believe we were in London to hire a Zeppelin, but our keeper didn't seem to think it was okay. So the steampunk dirigible is not. It's
Hey,
not an
you
option.
get a
I
plane in
believe.
the end over to France.
Yeah, I had to Google and show you that there was an airport with a route. Even found documentaries to prove my case.
So horses it is, then, by the end of it.
I think it is the most sensible option.
Okay. So you're
Also,
going
we
to
have the advantage of leaving all shit on his house.
Okay, so you want to recon by getting there first by horseback. What date/time are you planning to do that?
Is it not Thursday at the
It is
moment?
Wednesday.
It's
Isn't it?
Wednesday early afternoon.
Wednesday.
It's
Wednesday
happening
early
tonight or Thursday night.
So I would suggest we just miss the midday sun and then go into the evening, have a look around.
Okay.
Royal Air Corps had a presence in Egypt in 1914.
Wow. Did not know. Don't know who they were shooting at.
Anybody that didn't have guns.
We were British. We were British. We never needed a reason, just targets.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who the targets were. That's the point. I mean,
Basically, anyone who happened to accidentally run into the sites while we were shooting.
Okay, so who is doing the recon? Is everybody doing the recon?
My hecker's like,
I better go.
Yeah, if someone writes me there, I can do the recon.
this is
I assume on the horse.
to be honest,
I can't ride a horse, not for my life.
how hard could it be?
I was being rude, but never mind.
Also do what it's told.
this
Can
is definitely a job for people with sort of outdoors and military experience.
Can I give the others lessons? Horse riding lessons.
I mean, in the amount of time it's going to
We
be...
have a whole day.
You do have a whole day. It's going to be hot, and you need to get out somewhere with space.
Well, that's time in the morning, time in the afternoon. Morning on the Thursday, afternoon we do it. That's 3 lessons.
Stop! I think this horse is racist. Stop!
Okay. All right. Let's see.
I think the horse
If-
is racist.
Perry,
It
give
also
me-
has the advantage of keeping. Sorry, it also has the advantage of keeping Winston out of trouble, so we cannot fuck this up.
right.
It's
So
a
it's gonna
win-win
be,
situation.
so you want to teach? You're going to try and teach everybody. So
Whoever's going. Whoever.
Yeah, I'm not
wants to
going.
go.
you're not going. Okay.
I'll take the lesson.
I am.
2.
Okay. So can you give for the 2 rolls of a combined edu and ride, please, Perry?
Education and ride. Oh shit, education's a tricky one. Okay, that's a fail.
If you could explain this properly so it would make sense, that would help.
I failed education. I passed the ride.
Yeah, you've got to pass both of them. That's how combined rolls work.
2 rolls for each.
Okay. 2 rolls each.
Okay, someone passed. Whichever one. I don't know which one of you want to pass.
Okay, I'm going to roll
Odds and
randomly.
evens.
It's going to be Francoise who passed.
Of course, I'm now getting it because I have learned how to understand what Perry means simply by not listening.
Okay.
What does that do to my skill?
I'm gonna let you bump that up by 4 points.
4 points. Okay, it's now 9%.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm sure you are glad you have that that extra 4 points.
Yeah, it's a 1 in 10 chance of success, give or take.
The last thing that the shy, subtle, quiet, and demure Francoise needed was an ego boost that said that by continuing to be as shy and demure as she is, she can actually learn stuff.
Are you planning to go with like taking anything with you or wearing the niqabs or anything like
I
that?
don't think we get away.
Shouldn't wear the niqabs.
I'm taking my rifle
Taking your rifle, okay.
and the sidearm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and come with my 5%. Still, I'll be taking my rifle as well.
Granted, you have fallen off the horse more than you have moved it forward.
I mean, Perry can carry me.
Yeah, you could both ride the same horse. And I guess
If he wills to, though.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
I must have.
Perry, are you okay with Pranit riding
Yeah.
on,
Well-
on your horse?
Passengering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
passengering.
Shall I ride on a second horse?
I was going to say, if there's 3 of you on one horse, there's the
No.
chance it'll be-
Yeah,
This
there's
was
no
a question
way.
whether I should come.
Oh, I see.
That's up to you, I guess.
Just in case you are incompetent in some way, I could maybe cover up for your foolishness.
It's up to you.
Yeah, Morbius, I don't think that riding
Or should I
bicycles in the sand is a good way to go.
It's a long
Perhaps I
way.
should stay here and keep an eye on Winston, make sure he does not go to the museum and speak to maybe, I don't know, cultists or something. Though he has stopped talking about it lately, I don't know why. That is suspicious.
This is our plan.
What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, not that he ever gave out our names, our real names to potential cult
Oh.
leaders.
Oh, come on. Or I think maybe all of you have slipped up in some way or another. Such is the nature of such a massive campaign. I guess then, Winston, you're going to be reading? Is there anything
I
else you're thinking of?
absolutely. I am not going along for 2 reasons. One, this is really a sort of military, sort of outdoors survivalist sort of trek. I'm surplus to requirements. Plus, and I must emphasize the strategic and tactical importance of what I'm about to say. There are no billiard tables in the desert to protect.
Yes,
True.
okay. So you're going to be reading? Well, I mean, you don't have to read, but just a suggestion because you've got a load of books now.
Got
Yes,
books
I will
to
stay
read.
with Winston and read as well.
Got books to read. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but particularly I had.
You acquired a book left behind by Gardner, which is basically a book on the pyramids and temples of Gizeh. Because
I will have a wee nosy in that one.
Mhm.
Especially as I am still hoping to go to that dig site.
And then there's a couple of the books which Kafur kind of read through with you already, but talking about Nyarlathotep and the Sorcerer, which I can't quite remember the name of because it's on the Mara board and I haven't got it open, but it will come back to me. Okay. Right. Who shall we deal with first then? Shall we deal with the plucky horse riders?
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe before leaving, we should get some sort of observational device, something like a binocular, in order to stay from a distance and be able to see something.
And a compass so we can find where we're going.
Yeah.
I read maps.
Have we got a map?
Maps?
I
You
don't
don't need
believe
no
we
Steve
do.
No, you don't have
map.
maps. In fact, apparently in the 1920s, there is no complete map of Cairo. There's just sort of little district maps, but there's not like, here's a map of Cairo. That was not a thing back then.
Wow. Just wow.
And I've just been looking on the chat with our viewers. Yeah, I could think of a couple of possible problems with using bicycles rather than horses.
You need very, very good legs. So,
Yeah. If we are up first, I believe we should get the compass and the binocular before leaving.
Yeah, I
So
agree with
we
that.
just buy that and then we go.
yeah, that's fairly easy to do. Probably more in the foreigners district, let's call it, rather than the markets. But yeah, I'll say that's fairly easy to
Yeah,
acquire.
because they'll be doing a roaring business in those.
Mm-hmm. Indicus. Ooh. Let's see. Okay. Cool. Yep. So you do that. Presumably you have something to eat first before heading off, and then two of you let your stomach settle, probably either in your room or maybe a bar, depending on where you want to do reading. And the other two head on out with your horses into the great wastes. So you do the trek across the river and then up about 9 miles to Jazeera Mohammed. And you're followed by police, apparently. It's a fairly small village, but you think that Omar Al-Shakti's place, given it's a plantation, is going to be kind of further out. By this point as well, of course, it's dark. There is a moon of sorts, although it's not a new moon, you'll be pleased to know. If you really want to know what it is, I can find out. But yeah, cool, dark. Are you planning just to try and head straight to the plantation, or are you thinking of doing something in the village while you're there?
I don't think we need to do anything in the village, I don't think.
I mean, what could we do? We could ask about this Al-Shakti, if it is well known in the village.
I don't
If there
think
is
we want to make our
something.
presence. I don't think we want to be known at all.
Yeah, me neither.
So, let anyone know that we're looking for the villa at all.
Yeah, we can go just right through it, up to the plantation.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. It's a half moon, apparently. So yeah, you find the plantation fairly easily. Acres and acres, of course.
Can we just actually, as we go through, can we just note how far away the mosque is from the plantation?
Oh, yeah, okay. So the mosque is this quite big building. It's not actually in the village at all. Basically, as you were heading to the village, so it would be south, you see this sort of large mosque, which, given the road it's on, it kind of makes sense, because then people can kind of come almost like a pilgrimage sort of thing and come along the road, and then, oh, there's this big mosque, and they sort of have a prayer, rather than being, directly in the village. So in terms of roughly how far it was away from Omar Al-Shakti's place, You could give me a navigate roll.
Okay. Navigate.
Do you want me to do that? Because I just got a base 10%.
I got 47.
Can if you want.
It's a pass by 2.
That's by 2.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll save my try.
Yeah, you think it's roughly about 4 miles away.
Okay.
So you go into the village, and then it's out west for his plantation and so on. So yeah, acres that you can see kind of glinting in the moonlight of cotton, and there's sort of sticks, like rows and rows of them. And just in the distance, there's a sort of a big driveway that goes up. You can see what you assume to be Omar Al-Shakti's mansion.
Okay. Does it have a fence or anything around the plantation?
Not really, no. There's sort of a couple of entranceways you can see, because presumably you're kind of outside of the whole thing at the minute, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's sort of low sort of fences, a couple of entranceways. If you want, you could make me spot hidden.
Of course.
If you're looking around.
That's a fail for me.
That's an extreme for me.
Okay. Yeah, so at the minute the plantations themselves are completely bare. You think if you could potentially use them for cover, because the stalks go up quite high, especially sort of further away from the house.
Well, I was thinking about the fence. I was thinking about tying the horse up somewhere out of sight, outside of the plantation, and then going in on foot.
Yeah. With the extreme planet, what I'll say is that you can see, I guess because it's so contrasting with it being pretty dark, you can see a couple of lights on facing you from the mansion, and you think you may see a guard kind of pacing across. So you can just see his silhouette kind of moving across.
All right, so guards are obviously inside, or what appears to be one. Do we want maybe to hold the horse somewhere far out of the mansion and then try to get any closer?
Yeah, I think that's what I said. I think we want to tie the horse up somewhere outside of the plantation and go in on foot.
Yeah, fine. We try that.
Go in through the crop, perhaps in through the cotton crop.
Hopefully there won't be no lizard people trying to eat us in some sort of back garden.
If I can find what it is I'm looking for. Oh yeah, there we go. What are your listen scores, the two of you?
My listen is 45.
So's mine.
45. Okay. Okay, so what I'll say is, as you sort of tie up the horses, your one, Perry, it's kind of like his hooves are kind of scuffing up the dirt a bit. You think maybe it's a little bit agitated over something.
Restless. Okay. Do I notice anything around? If I look over the fence, maybe into the fields.
You can't really see anything in the fields. However, you then suddenly hear the sound of, like, I guess, dust moving behind you, like a lot of dust, almost as if something is running over it, something like that.
Oh, it's like a sandstorm. Or...
Well, no. When you kind of look around, suddenly these figures almost kind of materialize out of the sand, really quite close to you. They basically look a bit like humanoids, but as their faces materialize, the best way to describe them is like koalas. Their faces are like koalas. and their skin is just completely encrusted with sand. Can the both of you give me sanity rolls, please?
For fuck's sake, mate. That's a fail.
59. That's a pass.
Okay. So, Pranit, can you take 2 sanity as you see these creatures kind of come out again, almost seemingly out of nowhere? And I'll take your initiatives in a bit, but let's jump back to the other 2 for the moment.
Why is it always us, though, Barry?
I don't know. Because the other people were back in the bar, that's why.
You see, there was a reason why I didn't go.
Like you knew that would happen, though. I mean,
this is a Call of Cthulhu game. Some shit was bound to happen.
I'm just trying to find the
And you
name.
chickened out.
So while sipping a glass of sherry and reading the book, I turned to Winston and say, of course it made absolutely no sense to go. Why would you go? You'll just get caught up with some random cult monster like, I don't know, a koala bear or some crazy thing. I mean, they are imbeciles for going early and with only half the group. I never understood this, right? Why do people think that it is a sensible idea to do a recon with only like 1 or 2 people? Because then those 1 or 2 people will meet the entirety of the enemy forces. And so these people go out and say, somehow, by myself, I will achieve what the whole party cannot. They're crazy people. Is your drink okay?
Yes, would you like another one?
I think so. This one is nearly empty.
Where are you doing this, by the way?
Very
Are you
nice,
doing this?
very nice vintage.
Are you doing this in the bar? Or,
No, I think we'll have sort of taken a bottle up to a room and be reading in private because we don't want these books out in the bar, to be honest.
Exactly, because I mean the thing is, to be serious, the thing is we still don't know who we can trust and who we can't. All this is going to have to be, we can't be sitting in the bar and the dinner, dining area looking at these books. It's just, it could be.
Besides which, I'm trying to keep Winston out of trouble, and the best way to do that is to keep him away from other people.
Fair enough. Okay, so Winston, yes, you've got the what's it called? The one that Gardner had. Where is it? The Pyramids and Temples of Gizeh. It's an English book by a W.M. Flenders Petrie.
There's a nice English name.
Well, he was English, so yes, apparently. The books that you've got, Francoise, are on this Nephron Carr fellow who was this sorcerer of the Black Pharaoh. Both are in English, so feel free to do some English rolls for me. Your exclamations are being muted.
Good.
Maybe for the best. I guess that was
stupid English language. How can you have an adjective order? How stupid is that? You can't say the green old dragon. No, it has to be old green dragon. Why is that? It makes no sense. The old smoking green dragon. That makes sense. The smoking green old dragon. Green smoking old dragon. No sense. What is this language?
Yes. Meanwhile, I have a score of 75 in English, and I have rolled 72. For all of my ability, I suck.
You are American, so you understand.
Yes. It's all these prepositions and so on.
No. I'll tell you what it is. It is obviously you're very passionate about things like the pyramids and archaeology, but having skim read this book myself, this book is pretty dry. Like dry as a desert. So it is tricky to follow, especially after a couple of drinks. What I'll say with yours, Francois, is I guess you do read some of it, but it's basically what Winston and Perry will have already told you. Like, you can't really see much more in there for the minute. But yeah, with this book by Mr. Petrie, it looks like he was, of course, involved in some excavations at Giza, and he wrote quite an extensive account of all the different pyramids, not even just the main three, but all the kind of lesser pyramids, the temples, and so on. Presumably, you're going to be looking for stuff on Mycerinus, are you?
Yes.
Okay. There are a couple of diagrams, but they're not that helpful to you. They're just kind of measurements of the outside, and as you can probably tell, yes, it is pyramid shaped. Just so you know as well, Mycerinus, it was home to Menkaure, he was called, King Menkaure. And right adjacent next to Mycerinus, there are three much smaller pyramids, which, by the sounds of it, were for possible queens, but no mention of Nitocris or anything remotely similar.
As you kind of open, as I kind of sit there and go.
There's not actually that much on Mycerinus in this book, unfortunately. There's a lot more attention paid to, the Grand Pyramid, and even the Second Pyramid has a bit more. But what you get, interestingly, from Mycerinus is that, unlike the other two, where you kind of go up into the pyramid and there's kind of like a chamber in the middle, there is like a very crude gash on the side of Mycerinus where you think someone else attempted to try and get in. But they were going about it all completely wrong. Basically, you think that the main sort of chamber is underneath, like just underneath. So there's a couple of different chambers, and it sounds like, that there was a bit discovered, but it's possible there could be more. Hence why you think the Clive expedition were there.
Oh, interesting. So they think that the entrance to that Mycerinus pyramid is actually underneath at the base, not in amongst the structure itself. That's a bit fascinating. It's certainly different from the usual stuff. This man
Sorry, Winston, I was not listening.
This man Petrie seems to know his stuff. I'm not quite sure
Like
what.
a right dish.
It is, bear in mind, it is 1883.
Beat me to it. You beat me to that pun. I was trying to find a way to work that pun in.
To watch it back and find out. The book's written in 1883. And as you know from your archaeology knowledge, lots has happened since 1883. So in terms of how much the Clive expedition have discovered since this guy's findings is yet to be seen. However, there are a couple of annotations you can see in this book, maybe by Gardner. It's written in English. It seems to be, there's a couple of sections in Mycerinus where they've sort of highlighted and talked about, another chamber, question mark, that kind of thing. And there's also a section further on in the book, which, again, given it's such an interesting sounding chapter, it's actually really boring, but it's called Theories Compared with Facts. And literally, it's just kind of things like, well, the dimension of this passage might be a bit longer than I first thought. Like those sorts of theories, rather than anything remotely exciting. But again, there's some underlining and more kind of speculation of, could there be something here? In particular, there is a causeway which runs kind of from sort of not bang on where Mycerinus is, but there is like a long causeway where it ends, you think maybe a sort of a very small settlement where some of the workers may have been. That again, that's kind of highlighted.
It's adding to my it's adding weight rather than evidence to the theory. It's not really adding evidence to the theory that there's another way out of that central chamber, that they could have got the sarcophagus out, but it doesn't actually add anything to it. And damn you for doing that Petri pun before I could get to it. Trying for 3 minutes to get round that.
Yes. Okay. And
I can dish it out when I want.
So you're kind of busy doing that, and you're trying to read through and make puns about Petris and so on. But then you hear some cacophony outside. A couple of screaming cats. Somebody gasping, like kind of maybe running quite quickly, but not very good at running. So, sort of like panting.
To be the Dutchman.
But you can give me listen rolls if you like.
Dun.
That is a pass.
Oh, I'm clearly too enthralled in the book.
Okay. Francoise, you also hear kind of amidst this cacophony, a little bit further down the street, you think you hear like a house being knocked at, like quite sort of furiously and kind of shouting.
I'm going to go and look out the window and see what window Mr. Dutchman is trying to... Sorry, see which house Mr. Dutchman is trying to escape into from the cats.
Okay. So you kind of see him. He's further up to your left, obviously on the ground floor. And yeah, you can see there's a couple of cats that you think may have been trying to sort of bother him or maybe even attack him. He is running around, but it's not him who's doing the knocking. That's coming from the other way. You can see a few, you think, male looking Egyptians who are kind of going around from house to house, and they're banging on doors.
Interesting. They police? Are they cultists?
They don't appear to be police. They're just sort of wearing regular sort of garb. You then see somebody kind of regroup them back together. Someone who looks a little bit younger, maybe sort of 17, 18, you think. And he then kind of points towards the hotel.
This could be somebody looking for us. Winston,
Okay, at that point,
I'm going to ask you this. Did you go to the museum?
Not since our friends left. I've been here, for God's sake. You've seen me here. You may not have heard me. You may not have acknowledged me, but I've been here. Why?
Some people appear to be looking for someone, and they have pointed at the hotel. I'm worried it could be that they are looking for us. We best get the guns out just in case.
Yeah. Get my gun.
Okay. Right. So back to the other two. Can you remind me what your dex rolls or dex scores are, please?
Yes, mine is 65.
65, okay.
70.
Okay. So Pranit and the monsters are at the same time. And then...
Though I act first because I'm cooler. Is that right?
Depends. You didn't have any pistols drawn, did you?
No.
No. All right. Well, let's start with Perry first. So, yeah, again, there are three of these koala sand type creatures who've appeared in front of you. You're kind of not really shaken, although you were a little bit worried that you didn't hear them from where you were. But yeah, what would you like to do?
We must not make a noise.
Not very much by the sound of it then.
Yeah, no, but if we start shooting, people will notice us from the mansion.
I'm going to swing this. I'm going to swing a rifle from shoulder.
Hmm.
I'm assuming a bullet wouldn't do much to a sound person anyway, so I want to use it like a club and take a swing at one of them.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Give me a brawl roll, I guess.
And that is a complete fail.
Yeah, it's
That's-
quick.
That's 100.
Oh, right, okay. You kind of you try and bat it, I guess, or kind of thrust, and it sort of does this weird S shape and just completely avoids you to the point where you actually almost kind of you kind of drop it. It sort of throws away a little bit from you. Pranit.
Yeah, I swing my saber though. So I take it out of, I don't know the word, and then I swing it. Hard pass.
Hard pass. Okay. Yeah, they failed. So yeah, roll your damage.
So my damage is 1d8. Where is it? Plus bonus plus 1. That's a 9.
Oh, 9. Okay. So okay, yeah. So you kind of you cut into it, and it's not completely sand. It's not like your blade just kind of slices through or anything. It feels almost like kind of tough, like almost like a hide of sorts, but it's kind of hard to put your finger on because it looks like sand. This kind of skin. It's really strange. But you've cut into it quite deep, and you kind of have to wrench it out again, and you start seeing like sand sort of spilling out a little bit. They are going to kind of rush at you. They've got these claws, like these 2 claws start materializing out of their sort of sandy hides, I guess. So 2 are going to go on Perry. So you can dodge, but since you're outnumbered, that'll be a penalty, or fight back, or whatever you want to do.
Okay, I'll try and fight back.
Okay. And then Pranit, you can dodge, fight back, maneuver, whatever, and that's just a regular, so no
Yeah.
penalty.
I'll try to push back the one coming on me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a regular.
Okay. I've only had 1 hit on my end. Have you done, Perry?
I failed.
Okay. So one of them hits you. Ooh, that's a bit more than I thought. Ooh, okay. What are you on? Are you still on 3 hit points?
I am still on 3 hit points.
Okay.
For fuck's sake, I wasn't remembering it.
Okay, so this thing comes at you with these rather sharp claws, almost kind of feel like bone, as they slash into your black wound, giving you 7 damage in total.
Ooh.
So you're going to be prone and on the floor.
I let a bit of a cry as I collapsed to the ground.
Mm-hmm. And you are now dying. Once again. Pranit, you are up next. So this thing kind of lunges at you, but yeah, you manage to weave out of the way. You see Perry go down, of course.
So I still got 3.
You still got 3 of them, yeah. One of them's been wounded a little bit.
Well, I'm not sure if they will be scared by the rifle shot. I mean, yeah, I try. If I'm able to, I'll try to take up Perry's rifle and shoot one of these dumbasses.
Okay.
Is that the rifle what you have, Perry? Is that right?
Yeah, it's yeah.
All right.
Three out of 6 bolt action.
I didn't want to talk over you, Jason, where you're going to say something.
I was just going to say, because you're kind of moving over to it, picking it up and shooting, you can, but I'm going to say that's a penalty because you're not taking any time at all to aim.
No problem. It is... No, it's a fail. Yeah.
How much is your rifle skill?
55.
Oh, okay. What I'll say is it was a tie because I failed as well, but their dodge is less. So I'll say that, yeah, it kind of falls into your bullet almost. So yeah, roll your damage.
How much is it?
2d6 plus 4.
Is this on the one that's already been wounded or on a different one?
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about it because given the action being this frantic, the first one I see, I shoot.
Okay.
So if you want me to roll a d3 or something, or you want to do it.
No, it's cool. I've got one. So your
You
damage.
said 2d6 plus 1.
2d6 plus 4.
4. Even better. That's 11.
11. Okay. So your gun goes off, or his gun goes off, and you shoot. It happens to be a different one. But this one... oh yeah, okay. This one, it kind of completely goes through, like the bullet goes right through the chest. It kind of staggers. You don't know entirely if you've killed it. However, I'm going to roll con for it. Oh, so I'll say that it is still conscious, but it lets out this kind of horrible shriek of pain. It's kind of on its knees, and it's sort of, I guess, breathing heavily. You don't know if it breathes or if it's just kind of convulsing a bit, but the bullet's done it damage, but it is still conscious a little bit.
What are the others doing?
Well, the others are kind of coming for you. I'm just going to make a roll quickly. Okay. So, Perry, can you give me a con roll?
Which is a pass by 9.
Okay. You are still alive for now.
This is intense, all right?
It is intense.
This is intense.
Okay. So, yeah, you got that one with the gun. So I'll say the other two again try and come at you with their claws.
All right, I'm trying to dodge out of the way, not letting off the rifle. I'm dodging.
Okay.
I'm dodging hard.
Hard. Okay.
I love you, guys. I love you.
What's your dodge skill?
65.
Okay. So one comes really close to you at one point, and you do that kind of dramatic sort of leaning back with your face.
Some Matrix shit, yes.
Yeah. It almost got an extreme, but not quite. So you were lucky there. Yeah. So Perry is bleeding on the floor at this point.
Yeah. There's no way I can tend to him before getting rid of these ones.
Okay. Nice to see where you stand. Okay, but
I mean, I can, but there's no one to look after me after.
Yes.
And giving first aid takes some time.
Okay, and yeah, she'll go next, Pranet.
I still have the rifle, so I'll try to have another shoot at it.
Okay.
This time I'll try to, since I'm already holding the rifle, I'll try to shoot the one that I already wounded.
So the one that's prone. Okay.
No, the one that I cut through with the saber before.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because the one that you shot isn't completely down, but they're sort of prone. So
yeah, it's not moving, so that's enough for now.
It's moving very slowly, but yeah, okay.
That's a pass.
Yeah, they failed terribly. So yeah, roll your damage.
10.
10.
Yeah. 2d6 plus 4.
Yeah.
It's 1 plus 5 plus 4.
Okay. So they go down as you slice even deeper into this one. Once again, that's out this horrendous shriek. Again, just going to do a couple of rolls. Okay. And the other one that's kind of staggering is going to do a con roll. That one is still up. So yeah, the one that you cut goes down. There's one looking very healthy left, and this other one who is still just about conscious. So the one that's not kind of prone, shall we say, is again going to try and lunge at you.
No, I failed this one.
Are you dodging?
Yeah, I'm trying to dodge, but I can't.
Well, they also failed, and again, you've got better dodge. So I'll say that, yeah, you still managed to get out of the way, but maybe you kind of have to pick yourself up a little bit. So it's kind of a clumsy dodge.
Okay. It's not a sexy dodge, all right.
It's not a sexy dodge, no. Perry, con roll, please.
Con roll 11, so that's a big pass.
Oh,
Okay,
That's,
don't you die on me.
okay.
That's a
Pranny.
hard pass.
Yeah,
So if you
I
pass, you're still
shoot.
alive.
I shoot the remaining one.
You should
And
remaining one.
I'm no. I was thinking of using the bonus die, but I'm using it on the first aid on Perry
Okay,
later.
yeah.
So I'm
Makes
just
sense.
shooting it.
This one's going to try and fight back, but it does terribly.
Yeah, it's a hard pass for me.
Yep, okay. And is this with the gun? Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
you're-
the rifle.
The rifle, cool.
Yeah, since I picked it up, I never let it go. So
I'm dropping dice everywhere. What's your damage?
oh, I don't know. That's a 10 again.
A 10. Okay, so that's another major wound for that one. So I'll do a con roll for that one. Where's this con again? There. In fact, I always forget this one if they go unconscious or not, because I've still got hit points technically. Give me a moment. No, they're still standing. Okay.
Still standing.
Yes. But they do have a major wound.
Yeah, this another sander.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that one, I'll say, it kind of it staggers back quite far, so it kind of has to maneuver back to you. So by the time you kind of act next, it's going to be right on you. The other one, yeah, that one's now standing up, and again, it's going to try and maneuver towards you. So you've got these two that are kind of coming on you like this. But now it is Perry to make me another con roll, please.
28. This is a hard pass.
Okay, Pranit, these two are about to dogpile you, I guess.
Then try to dog what to me?
Dogpile.
No,
Gang up on you.
no. I mean, I don't know rule-wise how it is, so I'm just trying to tell you what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Since they're both coming at me,
Mm-hmm.
as Perry did before, I wanted to hold the rifle as a club and try to swing it
Okay.
and take them both if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Is this in the
Ooh.
realm of possibilities?
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult strength-wise to do it. Okay, you could do it and use your sword skill, I guess, because that's the closest you've got. However, I'd also want you to do it with a combined strength roll to see if you hit both of them or if you just hit the first one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. I was asking just because of that. So I
'Cause their
got
hide is tough.
75 strength
Mm-hmm.
and 60 sword. I got 65 brawl if you wish, but it doesn't really matter.
Let's use the sword, although obviously it wouldn't be the same damage as the sword.
All right. I'm sorry they didn't roll properly because I got stuff in here. No, that's a regular pass on both because I rolled 59.
Yeah, that's fine as long as you pass. As long as you pass both of them. I'm going to get them to do penalties because they're kind of coming at you. Yeah, so they just fail. So yeah, you pass them both. So yes, you get to hit them both. In terms of as a blunt weapon, I don't know if there is anything in here.
I mean, something like a club.
It's going to have quite a lot of momentum with it.
Yeah. Let's see.
What you using? The rifle?
Swinging the butt towards them, holding the barrel.
I would use the stats for a baseball bat and just go with it.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm looking
Go
for.
with reach.
Or a crowbar.
Club, here we go. Club large. So it will be 1d8 plus your damage bonus.
All right. 1d8 plus. All right. That's a 10.
Okay. And again, because you hit both, you can roll another one for the second one.
All right. That's an 8.
Okay. Right. So. Okay. Okay. So describe how you dispatch the last two with this massive swing of your club.
Well, of course, I'm looking at Perry bleeding out on the desert sand, and I'm filled with rage that I try to suppress with my religion and my meditation, and I just splatter their brains, I guess. That's really on you to describe. Their jaws, at very least.
They sort of have these very kind of small tucked in jaws. So yeah, I'll give you that.
They had.
They had. Fine, they had. Okay.
And for them, and for those creatures, the sands of time ran out.
Okay. Perry, con roll, please.
All right, I'm taking my bonus die ready. Don't you die on me.
No, that's a pass.
All right.
You lucky bastard. Lucky bastard.
My con is 70, so
Yes, it's a buff boy.
All right, so I guess you're going to be doing first aid on him as soon as you're able.
Yeah, I mean, if the whole three are dead, like undeniably,
they're at least to the point where they're, well, you think maybe one of them is dying, but they're not going to get up, and the other two are definitely dead.
all right. So I'm using my bonus die to first aid Barry. I mean, it can be a 58 or it can be a 58.
I see.
wow.
But no. Oh. Because I don't have enough luck to push it.
Well, pushing doesn't involve luck.
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of pushing it while saying that I don't have enough luck to make it a regular pass.
Well, you can push it. However, if you fail, you can't spend luck to make it pass.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm pushing it.
And if you fail...
Yeah, I know, but if I don't, he may be dying on me while we get back to Cairo, or the village at the very least. All right, that's not a pass, but I'm spending 8 luck
You can't.
for
You
it to
can't.
be.
It's a push roll.
Fuck.
This is
I'm
what I was
sorry.
saying.
Yeah,
What I was saying.
I was getting excited. I'm sorry.
Mm.
I was thinking straight.
No, it's okay. Right, Perry, can you give me another con roll, but with a penalty die, please?
With a penalty die. Okay, so that is 58, and the penalty die would be 6. So what's that make that? 68.
So it's still, you said 70, right, or 75?
So that's 2 in, yeah.
Okay. All right, so at least you're out of combat, so it's not every round. But you're not able to kind of stabilize the wound, basically, Pranit. In fact, you think you may have possibly made it worse somehow, and you don't know really when Perry's going to come round. He's certainly not going to help you ride the horses back, but he's going to need medical attention ASAP.
Yeah, so I'll try to set him on the horse.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to hold what I call the reins
Mm-hmm.
with him, and then slowly, not running, because I don't want to make things even worse than I already did, go back to the village and ask there if we are able to find someone to help, instead of going straight back to Cairo, which may be a little bit too far.
Okay. Can you make me a luck roll?
Yes, but no.
Yes, but no, as in you failed the luck roll.
Yes.
Okay.
You can
Cool.
read me like a book.
So, you kind of head into this village, and they can obviously see what's wrong, but there's not really anybody here who has the expertise to heal Perry. Certainly not here. I mean, you could maybe try and go further south, to Giza possibly, if you don't want to head back to Cairo, but it's going to have to be the trek back, you think?
Yeah, still Giza is nowhere closer to Cairo. Is that correct?
It's on the same side of the river, but no, apart from that, it's roughly the same distance away. Although,
Yeah, so we're going back to Cairo, I believe.
yeah, let me just make sure, actually, just in case there's one any closer, just because I don't want it to be too unfair. I believe they are all going to be in Cairo, per se. Cairo. There's a big list of them. Here we go. The closest one is going to be not kind of back across the river, but basically in that sort of nice garden city type area. So that garden district that people were kind of promoting to you all as possible tourists. However, what I'm going to say, because of the trek, I'm going to ask Perry to give me another con roll with a penalty.
That was a 28. And I rolled a 0 on that one, so that's a 10.
Okay, so somehow, some way, you managed to get Perry to a doctor, although it may be a case if he has to stay in for a couple of days or possibly longer, as they treat his wounds. But I will say, on that big sigh of relief, let's take a short break.
Yes.
To recuperate. And
I'm stressed out. Yes.
Well done,
See
Pranit.
you in a sec.
Smoke a cigarette if you've got them.
I'm smoking 4.
All right. Let's adjourn shortly, or reconvene
See you in a
shortly.
bit.
Well, going out into the desert with 3 hit points, you plonker.
I didn't expect to get ambushed before we even got to the plantation.
Wow.
Maybe he hasn't
The
got
worst thing that happens now is that I'm going back alone because you're staying here at the doctor's, I believe. and I'm gonna be called names by Francoise. Because of course I didn't think about the ambush of the koala people.
I'm just waiting to find out how Francoise is going to make it my fault.
That's true.
It's how if Winston had been there, he could have died instead.
There we go.
Well, there might be an advantage if he's got these things guarding the plantation. There might not be that many guards inside the plantation.
Yeah, that. Given what's just happened to you, that's not a comfort.
Yeah, unless they come out of the fucking walls.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if they're outside the plantation, there might be no guards inside the house.
There's
But then
that.
The only trouble is everyone else has to get to the plantation through the queen.
Okay.
It's and then, well, I mean, it depends. I mean, do these things? Because now we're stuck with the question: can these things come out all the time, or do they only come out when the desert is cool, or do we get more of them if the desert is hot?
Well, as all these questions are pouring through your head, Perry, can you make me a roll a d3 for me?
A D3.
Yes.
So it's a 4. No, 3, sorry.
If you rolled a 4,
Roll me D3. Yes, 4.
I don't have 3, so I'm rolling the 6 and dividing it.
Yeah.
okay. Okay, cool. So you therefore get that back as HP.
3. Okay. Oh, back where I started. Back to the desert then.
It's like nothing happened.
It's like nothing happened. But yes, you're going to be in hospital for a while. So yeah, are you adamant that you want to head back to the hotel planet rather than stay with him?
Well, as far as Barry is now stable, if he is comfortable staying here for the night, I'd like to get the others to know what just happened. So
Yeah, I don't think I've got
And
much choice.
he needs to rest.
There's no advantage you hanging around.
all right. So I'm going back. Yes.
He needs to rest. Yeah, so let me just double check here, I guess. Okay. Okay, cool. So you'd be heading that way and then up there. Okay, okay. Okay, so Winston and Francoise, just quickly, are you still alert at this point? You're not kind of getting your guard down?
No, we picked up. Like, there were people coming toward the hotel, right?
Yeah,
We're clearly door knocking and asking questions. So we've picked up our guns. We'll be reading our books. We'll have our guns on our lap.
Guns on your lap. Okay, cool. Okay. So what I'll say is you sort of hear a little bit of this, but you hear somebody talking in English outside. And Pranit, you kind of see this unfold in front of you because you're there on street level. Where the Cairo Bulletin is, you've seen that the sort of windows have been smashed, and you can hear the sound of somebody upstairs on the first floor, again shouting in English. So you assume it to be Wasif. It sounds like Wasif. But then you hear people in Arabic going, "You speak that dirty tongue. Why you speak the dirty tongue? You tell me where they are." Do you do anything? You're muted.
Sorry, I was thinking of pulling some Kenobi stunt.
What? Hello?
Oh, hello there. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, given my given my creed and such, given the fact that this Nassim, if helped us a great bunch, I'm going in to try to help him as best as I can. I'll try to sneak in through the windows stealthily to see who are the people arresting him.
And when you say window, do you mean as in like one of the smashed windows at the front, like on the ground floor?
Unless the door is opened, of course. Yeah, I'm going in through the ground floor.
Yeah, it basically has been kind of forced open as well. So yeah, okay, make me a stealth roll.
Stealth, all right. I'm changing dice because I'm running out of luck on the other ones.
Okay.
Extreme.
Ooh, okay. What is the... Okay. Very nice, very nice. Yes. So, you really like dexterously sort of sneaking, like, carefully getting around, like navigating around the broken glass and so on. So you get to hear quite a lot of this conversation. Definitely sounds like whoever these people are, they're asking him stuff about, you know, I saw that Indian man in this shop and the French woman, you know, very, very much, you know, your description. And he's trying to keep his cool, Wasif, and trying to talk as much as possible, maybe even bribe them a bit to get them to go away.
I still can't get a look of these people. I'm sorry.
Well, they're up on the next floor, so you're kind of hearing this as you're heading on up. Yes, I know she's adorable.
Yeah, she's a cute.
Yeah, I'll say okay. I'll say then that you peer in, and yeah, there's four of them. Three men are kind of wearing their sort of white gowns, and another slightly younger looking man, again sort of 17, 18, wearing kind of slightly more, I guess, outdoorish kind of gear, some more practical clothing rather than, you know, just regular. But interestingly, he seems to be doing the ordering around, even though he looks like he wouldn't really be the person to do that. He wouldn't really be the leader of the pack, as it were. And they've kind of got Steve pinned up against the wall.
What do they look like? They look Arabic. They look.
Yeah, they're Egyptian.
Egyptian.
They're Egyptian. Yeah.
I mean, these men are going to have guns, supposedly. So
No, they've got kind of shorter blades than yours, kind of short sword.
All right. That's going to be a fair fight at the very least. So,
Saber dance.
well, still a Form 2, hopefully. Form 1 if I'm lucky. Yeah, I don't care. I'm taking out my rifle and pointing it at the practical clothing one from behind the door frame.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. All right. Do you say anything? They haven't seen or heard you yet with that extreme roll.
Yeah, I'm just saying drop the knives.
Okay. Let's make an intimidation roll with that.
Not even close.
I need to do a bookmark because this is really annoying scrolling through. Let's see. Okay. So, well, firstly, they don't drop their knives. But also the younger one kind of turns round and looks inquisitively at you. and says, "And who are you, my tall
That's-
friend?"
That's none of your concern. I think you didn't quite hear me. I said, drop the knife or I'll make you.
Maybe a psychology roll.
Not my strong suit. No. I was just looking if it was a fumble, but it's not. So
No fumble, not quite. Okay.
Oh.
He sort of smiles a little bit and says, "You are very brave coming in here. We outnumber you." And they start kind of advancing. We will give you the count to 5 to get out of here.
I'm giving
One.
you the count of 3 or I shoot. 1, 2.
Okay. You can maybe another intimidate roll if you want with that, because you got
Yes,
the gun.
I do want. I'm spending 3 for it to be a pass.
Oh, okay. So you kind of start counting as well, and then yeah, the younger guy he hesitates for a moment and gestures to the others. All right, you heard the man. He is more serious than he looks. Mhm. So they start putting their guns down.
I just glance at Wasif to see if he's all right.
Yeah, he looks okay. More just kind of his hair's a bit disheveled, which you think is probably the worst thing that's ever happened to him.
All right. So I'll just ask Wasif while I point the rifle now at the young one that talked to me before.
Oh, I have a picture for him.
To come to me.
As in, you're asking Wasif to come to you, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you? There we are. Okay. Yeah. So he kind of shuffles around a bit and gets over to you. This is the little guy.
All right.
Again, Wasif is trying to keep his cool. It's interesting because he's not kind of all cowering away or anything. He just sort of says quite brashly, these men think that I am still open. Obviously not. And they even smashed my windows. How rude of them.
I'll try to whisper to Wasif I mean, this Hakim was speaking English to me, or was
Yes,
he speaking
he was
Arabic?
speaking English.
All right. So I'll try to whisper to Wasif to go down the road and call for police.
Okay.
While I'm not moving from the door frame.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Let me just do a quick. Okay. So yeah, he kind of slips away, and again, Hakim sort of smiles at you and says, "So, it is just us now. Do you plan to stand there all night?"
Well, I really hope it won't be necessary, but I'm keen on waiting how much it is necessary.
So you're kind of sitting there.
Hopefully you don't have any girlfriend to come home to, because she will miss you.
Buzz, buzz.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Okay. Let me think. Oh, you're all muted. That's why it suddenly went deathly silent. Okay. I need to make notes of these pages. 46. Right. Okay. So, Hakim is kind of more in the center of the room, but there are a couple that are slightly closer to the wall where Wasim was earlier. Are you kind of always like concentrating your gaze on all of them, or have you kind of relaxed off a little bit?
Well, until the police or someone else arrives, I'm pointing my rifle at Hakim because he's the only one who acknowledged me in some way. But of course, I'm trying to take a look if all the others are doing or trying anything funny.
Okay. Cool. So, yeah, you kind of see one try to zip out of the window, but they are going to make a roll to see if they're able to do that without you seeing. What is your listen actually?
My listen is 45.
So you kind of hear them going, but only after they're kind of half out of the window. So you kind of see like the edge of his clothing as he heads out. You see a couple of the others kind of think, do we follow suit? But by that point, you've seen them, so you're just kind of staring at them.
Yeah, I'm not moving.
Okay. The police do arrive, and again, the two of you up in the hotel room do hear this. So you've kind of heard a bit of a commotion as well upstairs. Some police have arrived outside. Obviously, it's not like New York at all. It's literally like a few cops of sorts, on foot. But you hear them kind of go into this building, which you see is the Cairo Bulletin.
I don't know what's going on over
I
there.
do not know, but I was expecting by now to have heard back from our friends. Hopefully they haven't done something stupid like get into a fight of some kind.
Yes, they have been a while.
Well, as for me, I'm waiting until the policemen take these three gentlemen any other place before going back to the hotel.
Okay.
Because I don't want them to see me going back there.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I can give my testimony if needed.
Okay. They kind of look at them as if they're just kind of thugs. They've tried to do a break-in and tried to rob the place. So they just kind of frog march them out. They don't really need a statement from you because, again, with the smashed windows and stuff, it's self-explanatory. So they kind of leave you to it. Yeah. So again, from where you are up a couple of floors, you see these people get frog marched out and kind of head down into a cart of sorts and get kind of taken off somewhere.
All right.
I wonder if this what passes for midweek excitement here in Cairo.
Pranit, can you make me an intelligence roll?
Not my strong suit either.
Do you have any strong suits?
Yes, I managed to kill 3 dumbasses in the desert, but you weren't there to witness me.
Witness me.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of relieved you didn't have to do another fight. let's say that. But yeah, you kind of head back out into the cool air. Wasif is looking kind of obviously pissed off with the fact that his windows have all been smashed, but he says, "Never mind. At least I got away completely intact. So I can get this fixed, I suppose."
Yeah. Why were they so interested in you? What did they want from you?
I think you already
If
know
they-
the answer to that. Or else you wouldn't have maybe come and helped. They seem to be asking about the four of you. They've obviously seen you come in.
All right. Well, hopefully I came by before you spilled the beans, so they say.
Oh no, I didn't tell them anything. Why would I do that?
Yeah, I don't know how much time you were in their company at the very least.
Not that long.
Right.
Like I said, it was mostly damage to the windows. But I am good at buying time.
Yeah, I can see that, and I'm glad that you are this good at the very least. Again, if you need any help from me or my friends and colleagues, please just let us know.
Oh, that's very kind of you, but I would probably advise you not to come round at least for a little while, in case they
Yeah.
come back. Or
Yeah, you two try and keep an eye out because one of them managed to escape through the window.
yes, that's what I mean. He might be back again. I will keep an eye open at night.
All right, try and get some rest if you can, of course.
And same to you. You look like you've had a busy day.
Yeah, indeed, I had. Well, good night then.
Same to you.
Before going back to the hotel, I tried to have a look around to see if the one that managed to break free is still lurking around.
Okay. Yeah, you can make me a listen roll. Given it's dark, it's quite difficult to see at this point.
I said I had 45 in this. Oh, finally, that's a pass.
Regular pass.
Sorry?
A regular pass.
Oh, no, that's an hard pass.
And hard. Okay. Okay, so you don't hear him, you think. You don't hear anyone sort of sneaking around, but what you do hear, a good sort of few blocks away, you hear a kind of rather agonizing scream.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I just want to sleep.
But it is a good sort of distance away, so it's like you don't think it's anything to do with you specifically.
Well, is it though? I'm going towards the noise, of course I do.
Okay. I'll say at this point that Winston and Francois, you heard a bit of that conversation outside, and you recognised Pranit's voice.
Oh, right. In that case, we would take our smaller weapons and head on out.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. As you're heading through the lobby, you can make me psychology rolls, you two, if you want.
Oh, wow. Psychology extreme.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll go with hers.
Okay.
I missed completely.
Yeah. You can see that a couple of the staff look a bit flustered, as if something's possibly happened, like a confrontation or something, but there's no perpetrators in the lobby. It all seems fine.
As we're going past from us, is everything okay, monsieur? Madame?
Oh, yes, fine. Drunkards. It happens sometimes. We had to send them packing.
What happened?
They wanted to come into the bar. We said no. They got angry. Then we had to act. It is part of the job, miss.
No one hurt, I hope?
No. All okay. All okay.
Shocked by the bang.
Bang?
I heard a noise.
Oh, I'm not sure. There
Well,
was banging in
look,
here.
when you have all finished tonight and you have your after work drink or whatever, I will, and I'll give him a pound of English money or something. I say, you will get everyone's drink and you will all have good time, yes?
That is mighty generous of you, miss. Thank
It is
you.
for everyone.
Assalamu alaikum, shukran. And he kind of said something in Arabic, you presume, like, to let everyone know, and they were like, oh. They are very happy with that.
Keep them on side. All right, and we'll head out to Pranet.
Yeah.
So I'll say, yeah, that you kind of get out before he starts heading off in the direction of this scream, although you guys haven't heard it.
Oh, it was a scream, wasn't it? Oh, sorry. And apparently
that
we
was
didn't hear it anyway. Oh, well.
Planet heard. Well, you heard like
Sorry,
the banging
no
on the
worries.
different doors from house to house, but there was they
Okay.
said to you downstairs there was nothing in the lobby, like a bang in the lobby.
And there you are. What are you doing hovering around? You should have been back an hour ago.
Well, I'm glad to see you too. Unfortunately, Perry and I weren't able to do that much of a recon because
I suspected as much. Where is he?
we can talk while walking. Well, you can listen while walking. Hopefully. Thing is that
Depends if you are able to convey the pertinent information or not.
I have
I start heading towards the area where the scream comes from. If they follow
Okay.
me well, if they don't, I'm talking to myself.
been impressed by
Thing
the sass that's been happening tonight. Oh my
Thing
god.
is that three creatures apparently came out from the sand before we were able to see anything concerning the mansion, and they of course attacked us. What bugs me the most is that the horse noticed before we did, but Perry is fine. I mean, it will be better, but he was badly injured, so I had to bring him to a hospital.
Okay. At this point, I do look at Pranet straight in the eye, and I say, right. I think we need to find a dictionary because I don't quite recognize your definition of the word fine. If he's in, where is he?
He is in a hospital near the Garden District.
Right. Yeah. That's not fine.
It's better considering the fact that I almost had to bury him in sand.
Point taken. But still.
So, what you're saying is your big idea of doing a recon turned into an attack and you were defeated.
What I'm saying is that my big idea came out of your bigger idea of going into a mansion of somebody that doesn't know who we are, but allegedly sent 4 other people to Wasif to beat information about us out of him.
I was worried that might be the case when I saw people door knocking. So which one of you has been a fool and told them we are here?
At which point, I am going to now look at Francois straight in the face and say, right, as long as I'm quite happy to answer that question, as long as you understand that we include you.
And I don't really think you believe we are dumb enough to tell a high priest that we are here to meddling
No,
of this.
but I do believe that some of you are dumb enough to speak to people who are his cultists. This is why we were not to start poking around until after we dealt with him.
Now, you see, the problem with this is
So
that
who
you
poked around?
get his wound there because he's creasing over. He was creasing over there. You're going to reopen his wound.
By the way, you've been walking for a little bit, and there's not been any other kind of screaming or any sort of activity of that kind getting closer. But you could try and maybe make your way towards the scream just on memory with a navigate roll, Planet.
Yeah, we can't see any police or commotion or
No,
anything.
nothing like that. No.
So I'm rolling a navigate. That's going to go poorly. That's a 1.
You got a 1.
Yes.
Oh my god! So you know exactly where this noise came from.
Yeah,
so-
like I made that noise.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
the fuck
So,
is going on tonight?
so
Oh my
at
God.
one point, I guess you kind of stop Francoise and Winston from bickering on at you and think, okay, we need to go down this alleyway, definitely that direction where the noise was.
Why are you leading us here?
And you kind of start going down into the dark, and then you pretty much come across where you think the noise came from, but then that's quite self-explanatory because you see 2 bodies who you assume to be the police given what they're wearing, and they are kind of in a heap on the floor. Their skin is all husky and hollow, their eyes and tongues are missing, they are shriveled completely. Can you all make me sanity rolls, please?
Just a
Yeah,
sec.
Perry is sound asleep. Perry's doing just fine.
Yes,
That's a pass.
that's a pass for me.
Pass.
Okay, so you all just take 1 for the pass. As you kind of stop dead in your tracks, Prentice, you see these 3 bodies just kind of again.
Okay, 3 or
lumped
2
in the corner.
bodies?
Sorry, yeah, three bodies, which
Oh my god, they're multiplying in front of us.
matches up with the amount of people who were there to kind of apprehend the Egyptians.
What a strange occurrence. Why did you lead us to these corpses? How did you know? What is going on here?
I heard screaming. That's what I told you literally 5 minutes ago before you started screaming in my face.
I assumed you were referring to the fact that I was about to try and find out what happened, and you, of course, already knew that you had disappointed us all. So who are these people? They look like policemen.
Oh my god. Oh my god,
They're just
your
wearing a uniform.
observation skills are amazing, my darling.
So perhaps there is some kind of conflict here between the police and the cult. We could perhaps use that.
Yeah, I'll try to have a look around the scene. You said that this was some sort of alley.
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
back alley.
Small little back alley. There's no sign of the car. It couldn't really fit down here. But yeah, they're all just kind of in a corner, almost kind of piled on top of each other. No sign of the Egyptian men or Hakim.
Well, of course they are beyond recognition, these policemen, given
Yeah.
the state of their faces and stuff.
Their whole skin, like if you look at their hand, it's just completely withered. It's basically like Francois maybe could have been, had she not lived. You think?
Does it
Oh,
look
Harry.
like it? So does it look like it happened here, or were they moved here? Like have they been offloaded?
Yeah, if they're piled the one on top of the other,
Yeah, okay. Give me a spot hidden roll.
all of us.
Yeah, all hidden.
Pass.
Hard pass.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, next week I'm going to suck big butt.
Could you not do it live on air?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll try to.
What was your story?
You know, get your kicks off before the session or something.
What was yours, Winston? Sorry.
That was a pass as well.
So okay, so yeah, you pretty much get the impression that they were moved here. You don't know how far, but definitely kind of they've been piled on top of each other, pretty much, or at least kind of leaning against each other. Again, there's no way a cart could have fitted down here. But Pranit, as you're maybe kind of checking down each side of the alley to see if there's anything else, but something catches your eye in the moonlight on the roof. And you see what can only be described as a panther, or at least a cat the size of a panther, slinking along the alleyway, and then kind of leaps across to the other street. You think with the intention of heading in through a window.
Point the panther to the other two. Do you see that?
Alleys are getting really, really big.
This means the Dutchman is probably not a cultist.
You said that this big cattle was heading towards the window on the other side of the street.
Yeah, that's right. So where you came off, it's going back towards that street and then across. So it just leaps straight across in one big bound towards this window, and then kind of sneaks in.
So every cat we see here could well be some kind of transformed cultist. They're somehow using the cats. Or are the cats or something. Of all the things I've seen, it is one of the least terrifying.
Is there any way I can try to track this panther across the roofs?
You pretty much saw where it went. It just went straight, kind of across back to where you were, and then just jumped straight across. And then it's a big cat, so you can kind of see it. It goes through this window opposite.
So I see which window it went through.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe give it a take one or two. But as you start heading back, you can see that there's a light on in one of them. So maybe it heads into that one.
Well, of course, I tell Francoise and Winston that we got strong chances that this panther or whatever the hell that was went through that window, the one that has a light in it.
But what we do not know is if it has left or if it has transformed in some way, or it could be the home of a cultist. Who knows? So many possibilities.
Or the owner is really good at raising big cats. Could be a pet.
So as you get back onto the main street and you're kind of discussing this, again, given his quite distinct whimpering sound, you think you hear Van Hoevelen coming from inside that window. But then you hear the sound of a female voice.
I'm going to go up to the window and listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me listen rolls.
No.
I spent 2 luck. Regular pass.
Okay.
I am going to spend 1 luck to make it a hard pass.
Okay. Okay. So it's a very beautiful sounding woman. She's got this very silky timbre to her. Sounds a little bit like Shafiq actually, but even more kind of potentially seductive. So it's not her. And actually, no, you don't recognize the voice, but with the hard pass, you do hear some of the conversation of Van Hoovelen's whimpering, and says, "Mr. Van Hoovelen, I am not going to warn you again. Give me the scrolls, and we will not come any further. You know this to be true. It is.
I'm going to knock the door.
Okay, you knock the door. There is a way up. There's like a couple of people in the kitchen who are quite startled at you.
Huh? I think we have a different understanding of what's going on here.
So the panther jumped across to the other side, went in through a window, kind of still quite far up, which I probably didn't clarify.
No. And is this a house or a hotel or what?
It's a regular sort of residential home, you think?
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm knocking the door, and then I'm going to open the door and I'm going to shout, "Mr. Van Hoovelen!"
You kind of hear a bit of a reaction, and Winston, you hear from the window, "There is somebody calling you. Maybe they could help with matters, since you're so stubborn to not hand them over."
Okay.
And then I'm the dumb one trying to reckon an area before entering. Yes.
Miss, this is not the best time. I'm a little busy. Could you come back tomorrow? This isn't even my house. I'm staying with a friend.
Okay, so I hear that coming from the upstairs, so I'll head on up and just barge into the room.
Okay. Lovely jubbly. So, you see, kind of at your side, Van Hoovelen is cowering away, kind of clutching these scrolls in his hand. There is this panther kind of arching its back by the window in a very kind of defensive stance, baring its teeth, and sees you and then kind of lowers slightly and says, "And who might be this?"
You can call me a Bang Bang.
Oh, you're Bang Bang. Oh, God. Okay.
She didn't just say that.
I was not expecting that either.
Right. At some point, I keep saying this, at some point, we're going to have a talk about subtlety.
Look, it's a talking fucking cat that, as far as I can tell, has just savaged 3 policemen.
Yes.
I'd be a bit more worried about it.
There's no way that I'm not going to investigate this. I know what it is. It's cultist, it's bad, and it's seen me, and it's threatening Mr. Van Hoovelen, who I moments ago identified as a potential ally. So, as definitely not cultist. So, kill it.
I'll just look at it in here
I can't fault your reasoning, but
okay.
you can taught us anything.
Of course, if it is Bastet herself, as somebody has suggested in the chat, then hopefully I miss.
She's definitely going to dodge because she sees the gun come out. So okay. What did you roll for that, by the way?
I haven't.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm just going to tick that skill. I'm going to spend 4 luck. That is an extreme.
Oh, okay.
So you're now down 3 luck.
Yeah.
That's correct.
But it was an
Alright.
extreme. Come on. It was an extreme in sight.
Okay.
Don't need it.
Okay.
For fuck's sake.
I may have
Yeah.
just shot the god of cats.
Yeah, again, Winston, we are
She's
the
got 8 more
imbeciles.
lives. Come on.
Can you believe this? We are the imbeciles.
You are imbeciles.
I've got my gun in my hand, soaking up the ambience.
That's gonna be
Just
Well, I'm taking out my rifle and pointing it at the window.
yeah, there is a point.
No, she can't. She
just
just killed the policeman in order to free the cultists that had been arrested.
Okay, it is a hit. So roll your damage.
She
So
has
it's normally
99 points of
D10. What does the extreme do? Is that
Oh yeah, it's an impale.
Hmm.
So that is maximum damage bonus if you have any, which I don't think you do.
well? It's a
Plus-
gun, so you don't get damage bonus.
It's a
per se.
D10, right? So
It's a D10.
yeah, so it's a 10 and then plus another D10.
13.
Right. Oh my goodness.
I mean,
Okay.
it'd kill me.
Like, come on, that gotta hurt if nothing else.
Okay. Well, yeah, I wasn't expecting this at all. Yeah, so you
No
shoot
one
it.
of us was.
Not sure this coming.
I can assure you this.
You shoot it in a really kind of weak area, you think, and it kind of yelps a little bit, goes on the floor. Basically, you've given it a major wound with that impale, but even so, it's still alive. To which you hear the sound of like a caterwauling coming from outside, and you start seeing cats kind of pile in through the window.
Right. See that thing you said earlier about all the things you've seen? This is probably good. This is probably the least scary. This has come to bite you on the backside. I assure you, it's going to look scary.
Okay. Well, I have a statement of intent on that as well. So when I can act, I'd like to.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be initiative again.
Okay.
Oh, I just want to sleep.
65 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. If
50.
it's needed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have a feeling it's needed. We're now guilt by association.
And
I'd rather not associate with Francoise in this very moment.
Yeah.
Feel free to not come in, given that she's
I'm not.
probably the goddess of cats.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not.
All right. Well, even so, she gets to go first. So she basically first she roars at you, and she says, "You have one chance. All I want are my scrolls, and he will not give them to me."
What is the cult up to, and how can I stop them? You'll tell me now, or I will kill you.
I am not part of some cult. My name is Neris.
You just killed the policeman to free the cultists?
I am the daughter of Bast. I did no such thing.
You are not convincing me here.
So just so I've got this straight, we haven't killed or severely wounded a god. We have killed the daughter of that god, which means not only do we have all these cats coming at us, we may have actually invoked a god's wrath.
No, because all cats would say that they're the daughter of Bast. You will tell me, or you will die.
This is the most out of place belittling of matters that I ever heard. Ever.
Yeah. She says to you, the scrolls contain the black rites. They are sacred to Bast's temple. Nothing
Does that
to do
relate to the Black Pharaoh?
No.
Black rights, Black Pharaoh.
No,
It makes perfect sense.
they have nothing to do with that blasphemous cult.
To which I actually put my hand on her shoulder and say, "Yeah, take it from me. Black isn't a universal one thing."
So, you do not like the cult?
I am the daughter of a goddess. We try not to get involved with such things.
Everyone thinks they are the child of God. It is irrelevant. No, you are either trying to stop the cult or you are part of them. You claim to not be part of them, so you may well yet live tonight.
What is your dealings with this cult?
I have had many dealings with them. If you are the daughter of God, then you can already know. Besides, he had a son, not a cat.
Can you lower the gas, please?
Fine. You insolent woman, I will show you. And she starts changing form. And slowly, it obviously takes us some great effort given you've really kind of shot her up. But you see this very beautiful Egyptian, as in ancient Egyptian looking woman appear in the Panther's place.
Ah, good, bigger target.
I don't think so.
From
I
his
genuinely
face.
don't think so.
Now then,
I am literally looking up at the heavens outside the door. God.
The
Now
only
would be
people who practice magic like this are cultists.
God, please, what the fuck is this shit? Please tell me.
there are kind of cats that have come in to try and tend to Nerys, and some of them are really kind of hissing at you and looking like really, really angry, of course.
Keep my gun trained on this.
But Hubelin is just kind of completely baffled. He just has no idea what's going on.
I head through the door at this point.
Yes, I imagine you would at this point. Given
Yeah,
I
I'm
have
as
put my
well.
gun away.
yeah, Francoise does not put her gun away.
No, it's pointing directly at her.
No.
And as I walk in, I do show that I am empty-handed. You know, I've got my hands deliberately sort of.
Winston, there are no billiard tables here.
Get out.
No, but there may be no odds if we don't watch ourselves.
She has cast spells already. She can only be a cultist.
No, you idiot. That was not me. That was some boy on the ground. He did that to them. I was just watching from above. I was after this one.
I just watched you change from a cat into a woman. How is that not a spell?
How can you be this blind just to assume that one spell equals every other spell you've ever seen so far?
I look at Nerys. I look at Nerys and I say, "Madam, I do not know how the next few moments will go, but should you be in a position to look back on this episode at some point in the future, the word we like to use for it is challenging."
Oh, yes. You see, it isn't just the smaller cats that are at my command. I could easily bring the much bigger ones here to follow you around.
I assure you, I have no interest in the spilling of innocent blood.
My only interest is destroying this accursed cult and the Black Pharaoh. You claim to be against it. You clearly know magic. So tell me more and explain.
I'm the daughter
try
of a
to
goddess, you
put my
fool.
hand. I'll try to put my hand on Francois' gun in order to lower it.
No, don't.
Madam,
You want this cult so badly? It is nowhere here. It is out in the pyramids.
The cult is in the pyramids?
His colleague, or at least one of them, I'm sure, is involved. He was too stupid to think otherwise.
Yes, two of them, I believe. Hang on, let me get the board up.
There have been many goings-on in the pyramids since my existence, but in the last several decades, it is really quite something. Such terrifying rites take place out there. And very maybe naive mortals like you like to go out there and dig up my kind. You think it belongs to you, you think you will uncover something. Well, something far worse than you can ever imagine was uncovered there. And now
Don't be so arrogant. I'm not a person who digs this stuff up. I put it back and undo the work of this cult.
Then prove it. Put them back. Put Nyarlathotep back in his place.
That is what I am trying to do.
We intend to, madam. It is our intention.
This is but a mere domestic problem. He has stolen from one of my shrines, therefore I want the scrolls back.
I turn round to Van Hooverland at this point.
He's just like, no, these are way too valuable. These are way too valuable. Martin was really quite clear.
I look at him and I say, let me explain your options. Very, very carefully. One, lady over there will kill you if you do not give her back her property.
She's spotting at Francois at this point.
Lady over there with the gun might kill you because, well, I've given up trying to find out reasons why she does. She could probably possibly kill you anyway. Third option, you tell me what's in those scrolls, you tell me why you need them, and you might just be able to walk out of here with your head on your shoulders and your breath still in your body. That's not a threat from me. That is a lifeline. I suggest you take.
Give me a persuade roll with a bonus die, Mr. Green.
Why do you make me do persuade rolls?
With a bonus die.
Indeed.
Well, it's a path.
Okay. He says, look, it was nothing more than money. I just want to get off this sandy rock, okay? I want to get back to my home, and things have been tough, right? And he's kind of gingerly really doesn't want to hand them over because he knows how much they're worth if he translates them for the general public. But we
can get you home, but first you will get us into these pyramids, and so we can infiltrate this cult and eat it where it hurts. And you, daughter of Catwoman, you will tell us how to defeat this cult and put this Nyarlathotep back where he belongs.
You can't put him back where he belongs. I said put him in his place. He needs teaching a lesson.
Yes, whatever. Get to the juicy bit where you tell us how to do it. If you are daughter of a god, you would know.
I have been shot. Give me a moment.
At which point I turn around and I say, whilst I share many of the sentiments of my colleague, I would like to ask a lot of the same questions of you in a calmer voice with the occasional please added.
Yeah, Francois, you see a good sort of 10 or so cats start surrounding you now, quite close to you.
Francois, lower Either lower your gun or lower your tone.
In case you have not noticed, she is also pointing her cats at me. Nonetheless, it appears we have the same goal in mind, so it is all a bit crazy, really. But you must let her get her romance out of her system.
Tell him to go back to his expedition, and he will find the answers he needs. There are some with theories, which are surprisingly accurate. Dig under the pyramids, and you will find what you need. But in terms of how to get rid of the cult, that is another matter. They are many in numbers, and Omar Al-Shakti is strong. You will need to prevent the resurrection of a queen.
Do you know where that sarcophagus is? We believe it is in the at Al-Shakti's property, but we cannot confirm it.
No. It is already there, ready. They just need to wait for the time of the month.
The full moon, whatever. When you say already there, already where?
What is it with women and time of the month?
In the rites place, under the pyramids. The great chamber of Nyarlathotep.
Do you have a map?
No, I don't have a
Are
map.
you joking?
Why would I have such a thing?
I turned around to Van Huvelen. You know, you did extensive work in the pyramids.
It was Gardner who had those silly theories. I didn't really think anything of them. I don't know. Maybe I don't think he'd have a map, but maybe he has a better idea of at least how to get inside. But you can't possibly think if you're going under there. It could be hundreds of miles long. This tunnel. It's a death trap.
Mr. Van Huvelen, all of reality will be death if we do not stop them.
I very calmly put my hand on his shoulder, and I, in a calm voice with a smile, I say, "Thank you. Thank you so much for volunteering to help us there."
Wait, what? Yeah, I didn't. That's no such thing.
You want us to pay your way home?
I heard that volunteer. Well, you see, here's your problem, Mr. Van Huvelen. It's either you're volunteering to help us, or we are going to walk out of here and leave you to it.
Oh. I see where you're going with this. Maybe we go out of here, and I give these scrolls back, and I get a really stiff drink and think about things.
Hold it. Look, Winston, you are trying to eat with a stick. We will pay your way home. We will get you home. You will have fresh clothes, for God's sake, and a bath. You will have the money for it, and God knows you need it.
Oh, well, the one you gave me
carrot.
was really nice. I was going to do that tomorrow.
But to get this,
let's
you
go.
will be well paid. But it is essential for the survival of all of this against this cult. They must not be allowed to raise this queen. They do magic and crazy things.
I hold my hands out deliberately to get the scrolls off.
Yeah, he when you start talking about how you're going to pay him home, yeah, he hands them over. And you can see there's like some quite deep, fresh scratches on his forearms as he reaches out.
I turn around to Neris.
See, now you see reason, Mr. Van Huvelen.
I would ask certain conditions. We can, and we have successfully dealt with chapters of this cult.
You may have.
I promise severe problems in both New York and London.
I did wonder if Nyarlathotep had outstretched his hand across the world. I'm not surprised.
I asked only 3 requests, not demands, but requests.
That is a lot, considering what your friend has just done to me.
In fairness, you did make out to be a cult member.
Only
You're
by
the
your
wrong one,
twisted
Master
mortal
Blade.
logic.
You came from the corpses. We followed you from them.
As I said, madam, challenging.
What are these requests?
One, that you would forget Mr. Van Huvelen, allow any fate to be held in our hands.
Oh, I certainly will. The idea of him possibly perishing underneath the pyramid sounds a lot more amusing to me.
Yes, I thought so. Secondly, is there any information contained in these scrolls that may aid us? And if so, would you give us permission to take copies of those passages that may be of aid? If they are of no aid at all, well, obviously, then that request is unnecessary. But if there is anything in your sacred texts that may aid us, I would be.
There are many things hidden in those texts. That is why Mr. Van Huvelen was so keen to get his grubby hands on them. But I do not know if they would be something your little minds would cope with. Perhaps an element of protection would help.
Anything that could help us.
I will grant you the scroll to learn this spell, but I am not responsible should your minds not be ready for such a thing.
We take the risk.
So did she. And isn't it a good thing you didn't kill me altogether? And she starts kind of stretching a little bit, and you think the wound is actually closing a little bit?
I have bigger guns. This is just my travel piece.
Why? Why?
You would have been
You're
an
going to make
interesting
this
character in my
third
time.
really difficult.
You speak like the foreigners that come here and dig up my belongings.
They should not be dug up. I disagree with that whole process. If we had time, I would tell you about Peru. I put things back when I can.
My third request. And I admit that this one is going to take some doing. Our party is already one person down. He is in hospital. He was hospitalized earlier this evening. We cannot afford to lose another. I would ask, please, to forgive my associates' rash actions of this evening.
My actions do not need forgiveness. I am doing the most prudent thing to eliminate the cult.
Why? Why?
If she thinks having the cult here is a good thing, then it is better she dies. If she does not, she will understand. It is simple.
No more crack.
I mean, if she's daughter of God, she'd be clever enough to work that out.
Of course I have worked it out.
There we go.
Like I said,
so it is not necessary. I was right.
No, you were not. You were most wrong.
I ask, young one, for something in return for this forgiveness. You pray to a more recent god, do you not?
Yes, I do.
An Abrahamic god. I ask that you make amends at my shrine and offer a prayer up to Bast and ask forgiveness from her directly.
Is that part of the spell? Will it help us defeat the cult?
I will do so.
It is up to this one to find out.
Who do you mean by this one? Are you talking to me?
No, she gestures with her eyes at Winston.
Okay.
I will at your altar raise a prayer. Bast.
When you are ready, my cats will guide you to the shrine.
You have my word.
Then, and she kind of does one of those like cat stretches, like, you know, outstretches her claws and things. I will take my leave. I may see you again.
I take it that
Interesting characters, that one.
we're being left with one of the scrolls, or
Yeah. She kind of leaves you with this singular scroll, and interestingly, when you go and look at it, most of the text you see it's just kind of gone. It's just disappeared in front of you, and there's this sort of singular bit of hieroglyphs.
okay, so we just need someone who knows their
You can ask
Egyptian.
Francois.
No? Van Uvelen right here. This is the bit that you must translate for us.
Huh, that's one of the bits I didn't do. Damn it. It'll take me a little bit, but yeah, I guess you're dead now, so I guess I gotta do it, and la la la.
Yeah.
You are not in our debt, you are in our employ. You will
That
be
too.
paid.
Here's the interesting bit about that. You're not leaving our site until it's translated. None of this going off nonsense.
You're
God's me
staying
aggressive.
You're staying at the Shepherd, though, right?
Yes, we will provide you with a room.
Yes.
But be of
Very
no
kind of you, sir.
be of no
Winston, have you not learned the carrot works better than the stick?
be of no
Imbecile.
be of no doubt, Mr. Van Hoveland. We will provide you with a room. Should we be successful, we will provide you with monies to get home. Fail or cross us, and we will provide you with a first-rate funeral.
No funeral. We're just locking you in your room with Francois.
Oh no!
Honestly, if you're trying to use me as a threat, Winston is the one that is being all threatening to this man. I can't understand it. Why? It's like, oh no!
Just bloody
I should-
shot the goddess. Shut up! You just shot the goddess in the belly. You're far more threatening.
Because it was necessary.
For all
It was
eternity.
not. Not a single bit of it was necessary.
All the evidence pointed to her being a cult.
Just for you, again.
And actually, it transpired she was a cult, just a different one.
Oh, right.
Anyway, we're heading back over to the hotel.
Yes, and I think that would be a good time to end today's roller coaster of a session.
For fuck's sake.
Why?
I'm not wrong. You are 200% wrong.
No.
200% wrong.
Right. Look, all the evidence added up that Van Hoevelen was obviously an ally. You know, this cat had torn to pieces. And even though that turned out to be slightly wrong, she was still a cultist. It was just a different cult.
Yes. Yes, but you had no reason to
Do we
believe
have-
the two were affiliated. You had no reason to believe so.
Yeah, I did. The cat was leaving
No.
the scene. And let's be honest, right? It's a big panther and it was talking. That reeked of cult. Now, I didn't know it was a different cult, and what I still don't know is what the motivations for that cult are. Meanwhile, Winston's going to go off and pray to it. We have no idea what they're trying to achieve, who they're trying to raise from the dead. That could be a whole other plot line. There's probably another book on it. In fact, I think H.P. Lovecraft even wrote a story on it. So good luck with that praying.
Oh my god.
I can see where Francois is coming from, but shooting gods and demigods generally isn't considered the best move.
In fairness, if I'd rolled a little bit higher on the damage, she would have died. I rolled quite low.
I don't
Yep,
think.
and there is a little paragraph if she does die as to what happens.
Yeah, would have been.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yes, I believe she would have had a shit ton of hit points.
We'd have been boating without paddles soon.
Well, I rolled 13. I was on for a potential 20. I had no idea if that could have killed her, but given 13 was a major wound, I'd say that was on the right tracks.
Yeah, but if you kill her, we're then dealing with her mother as well as Nyarlathotep.
But in fairness, nobody knew that.
It was going to be
You
either,
keep
but
saying
it was
in fairness, but I don't see any
There was a
fairness in your reasoning.
Talking fucking cat.
yeah, if there's odds on going to be Bassett himself.
I would just like
Yeah,
to just have
But
to
how is that? Look, everything we've seen so far. How would you go? Oh my God, there's two cults in this city. No, it's fucking weirdness. We're investigating a cult behind weirdness and that we know cast magic spells. There's a talking, blinking panther. It's obviously the cult, right? It's just left the bodies of 3 policemen who were killed to free some cultists. Everything says cultist.
I want to correct Phil on just one point. He said that we're looking at going upriver without a paddle. No, we're not. We're looking to go upriver without the fucking boat, let alone without the paddle.
Still, I can't imagine what would have happened if Francoise actually killed Nerys and she gave herself the name of Godslayer.
You would have been in.
It would have been the end of the campaign.
You would have been in serious trouble. I would have woke up and had breakfast.
I was gonna say there was the real possibility, and you did sort of mention it in the chat. There's a very real possibility that Perry, having gotten that wound, nearly dying in the sand, had the easiest night out the lot of possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
That's so true. All right. This hospital is not so bad. I mean, I kind of need my hotel.
I'm glad I'm not recapping the next one.
Yes. Is it Francois to do the next one?
Yeah, I believe it is Francois, yes.
Well, that's going to be a very biased point of view.
Last word,
Oh my
bitches.
Oh my
Next
god.
summer will be legendary. So there was this beach of a panther, obviously a cultist.
This is where the other players get to introduce the recap prologue.
Right. Here's the thing. I know that I know that you talk to other GMs that have ran this campaign or are running this campaign this time.
Yep.
I wonder how many of them have had to deal with someone shot Nerys.
I imagine not many, probably a handful at the most.
Come on, guys.
I don't actually know.
How many times? If you can't connect those same dots that I did, what is wrong with you? Seriously,
Well,
Panther
given
leaves
the fact that there's
murdered
three of us
policemen.
against one of you, I believe that the one that connected the wrong dots.
No, I didn't. She was a cultist, right?
So
I didn't know there was two cults. There was no clue about that, so I didn't know there was two cults, and we still don't know what that cult's motivation is. How many times are going to explain that? She could well be a bad guy.
This one, the only beast, the only talking beast that didn't jump right at your throat, that was talking to you.
No,
Instead of listening, you went on and blasting her face off.
In fairness, I expected to miss. My skill is really shit. But I thought it's a cat. It'll be scared and jump out the window.
That's the time you hit and do maximum damage.
You see, once again,
In all
Becky
fairness, I suck.
has surprised me because I thought, oh, there's a thing on cats with this chapter, and she's just gonna have a soft spot and go, oh, we need to not hurt any of them and respect them and plump them up with feather cushions and stuff. No, apparently not.
No fucking way.
It's a talking cat. It's better to be something powerful, even if it's not actually the god.
Exactly. So shoot first before it gets an opportunity to do its stuff.
Shoot. You got
Technically aware, Panther.
Oh, it's certainly aware of us now.
Yes.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's Winston's soul on the line, so
Yeah. Good luck with that. I don't know what cult you've just got yourself involved with or what they're up to, but good luck.
Oh, I've got a plan for that.
And as I said, H.P. Lovecraft has written a story on them, but I haven't read it, so I don't know what goes down.
On bus.
But on cats.
Yeah,
that's nothing to do with Egypt. That's
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read it.
Yeah,
I just know in Lovecraft's mythos they're bad.
Yeah, he wrote The Cats of Ulthar and Rats in the Wall, that both star cats in it. Even his own cat, whose name I'm not going to refer to.
I mean, the annotated H.P. Lovecraft has cats all over the cover. I know cats are part of the whole Cthulhu myth. I just haven't read their stories, so I don't know any of the details. But bad. So good luck with your praying there, Winston.
You should read The Cats in the Wall, The Rats in the Wall. I'm sorry.
I have a plan.
That's an amazing story.
yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that session.
Really, really good session.
Enjoyed that. I am.
You can tell it's a good session because we're all sort of sitting here enthused and talking about it afterwards, and we're all really caught up in it. That to me is a good session.
it's incredible.
And I'll come back for more after this brief break. But yeah.
The broadcast, and we are going to do the Final Savage Worlds. Is it this Saturday? Did we agree, or was it another time actually?
I can't do this Saturday.
Oh, that's right. You can't. Okay. Well, we'll be doing it at some point.
We were talking about Hogmanay afternoon, weren't we? Thursday afternoon.
Oh yeah. Okay. As for next session of Masks, I did briefly catch up with Giorgio about it. How do you all feel about doing it the following Monday on the 28th, or is that not going to work?
28th is fine for me.
As far as I know, 28th, because I've pretty much decided I'm not going down to my family. I mean, they're probably going to try and make a play for it.
And it's a bank holiday for us as well, because Boxing Day is at a weekend, so yay! More days off.
Lucky you.
Cool. Well, then we shall do that. So that's probably going to be the next session. So we'll see you then. And hopefully there won't be any other scuffles with giant kitties. We shall see.
We really don't need any more of them.
No. And thanks to all of you for watching. There were a few of you tonight, so thank you. And we will see you next week. Bye.